Magic. We're going to be taking a look today at how we can convert PDFs into Google-friendly files that we can assign for student completion. So we're going to be taking a look at actually 3 different tools, platforms, and ways that you can go ahead and do that. And again, feel free to follow along with the slide that is linked in the chat, or if you just want to kind of watch, we have this recorded, so you can always also come back should you need to. So first thing we're going to take a look at is an awesome platform that is completely free. It is called PDF Candy. And PDF Candy allows you to do all different kinds of editing when it comes to PDFs. You can convert them to different files. You can edit them, crop them, do all different kinds of things. So I'm going to go ahead now and head over to PDF Candy. It looks like this. And you can see here just by, a quick little glance that there's so much capabilities here of ways that you can modify that file. We're going to take a look at 3 particular capabilities within this tool that we think are particularly helpful. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is how you can take a PDF and convert it to an image file, whether that's a JPEG or also PDF to PNG. They're both image files. And the reason you might want to do this is because it would allow you to take that image of that PDF and bring it up into Google Slides. And you can lock it down in Google Slides and then insert text boxes over it, which essentially become fillable fields for your students to put their answers in and to share their thinking. So PDF Candy could not be easier to use. I promise you that. I'm going to go ahead and click this little button, and it's going to ask me to add my file. I can either add it by clicking on Google Drive or just going into my download folder. And for this particular example, I have a money worksheet. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I'm going to click convert. Oh, before I click convert, it will default to medium quality. So be sure to, I always just switch it to high quality because why not? And then I'm going to click on convert PDF. Once that is done, we're going to have the option to either save it to our download folder, or I can place it into Google Drive. I'm going to go ahead and just click download file right here. All right, so that's there. And now what I can do is I can pop over here into my Google Drive and I can open up a slide presentation. Now, the first thing I'm going to want to do when I access and open up a slide presentation is I'm going to want to change the slide size because I want it to match that PDF, which is an 8.5 by 11, your standard piece of paper. So to do this, you simply go into File, go to the bottom there, click on Page Setup, and you can do this in Google Drawing as well. And I'm going to click on Custom and just adjust this so it's 8.5 by 11. All right, and now I am ready to insert that image. And there's 2 images here because it was actually a 2-page PDF. So I'm just going to go ahead for now and just bring up the first one. Now, if I was to leave this just like this and start adding text boxes to this and assign it in Google Classroom for my students to be able to edit, the problem would be that students could move this image and manipulate it, which I don't want them to be able to do. So to lock this down, I'm going to actually cut that image and I'm going to paste it and make it a layout slide. And then it becomes something that's not movable. And to do that, you simply click on slide up here at the top and you're going to click on edit master. This is going to open up all the different layouts within this particular slide presentation that I can edit. So I'm going to go ahead on this particular layout here and just paste that in. And that's all I have to do. Now, when I click the X and I go back here, notice I can't move this. So this is essentially, it's become a layout. If I click on my layouts, I see it here. So it's a background. Now what I can do is I can go in and I can insert my text boxes. And of course, these will be editable for my students to go ahead and type in their information. All right, so I can go ahead, I can add anything else I would like to add in here before I go and I put it into Google Drive or Google Classroom, excuse me, and make a copy for each student. So that's one way we can take a PDF, turn it into an image file, lock it in Google Slides, and essentially create fillable fields for our students. Any questions so far, Ben?
Just one question, if it was available for students. I don't see it on the official whitelist, but I don't think it's blocked.
Oh, PDF Candy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe it's blocked, but we could get clarification on that. Another thing I want to show you is how you could take a PDF and you could turn it into a Google Doc. So maybe perhaps you have a PDF that has more text space to it, a little less on the images that you would want it to be a Google slide for students. You're going to notice there's not a PDF to Google Doc option. However, there is a PDF to Word option. And with one simple click, we can turn that into a Google Doc. So I'm going to go ahead and click on PDF to Word. I'm going to add a file. And this time I want to add, I have a poem, Langston Hughes poem with some discussion questions. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a click open. And this is going to, just like the last one, it's going to queue up, process, and convert our file for us. And then when it's done, I'm going to have a couple different places that I can save it. Downloads folder, Dropbox, or Google Drive. All right. So now, instead of downloading this and saving it as a Microsoft Word file, I'm going to actually put it in my Google Drive so that I can convert it to Google Docs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And don't forget to click this little button at the bottom, the Save button. I missed that last time. And now that is in my Google Drive folder. So now when I navigate to my Google Drive folder, I see that file right here. But instead of opening it as a Microsoft Word document, I'm just going to right-click on it. And I'm going to go to Open With, and I'm going to select Google Docs. And now that PDF is an editable Google Doc file that I can add anything I'd like to. Here's the poem. I'm going to remove the bookmark. I don't need that. I can adjust anything, like if this little bit move over here, I could move that back. I could change the font and the size. Here are my discussion questions. And this is now, once I have it all edited how I want, I can put this in Google Classroom, assign a copy for each student, and they can answer right inside the Google Doc. So the PDF went to a Word, and then from a Word, it went to a Google Doc. All right, and then one last thing I want to show you that I thought was pretty cool and might come in handy is this option right here to extract images. So let's say you have a PDF and there are images that you want to use to create your own file. So I'm going to go back to that money example, because what I want to pull out is all those little coins and dollars so that I can create a challenge question for my students. So if you click on Extract Images and you add a file that has any images in it, so again, this money worksheet, for example, what it's going to do, which is pretty amazing if you ask me, is it's going to take any image out and it's going to make them all separate files for you so that you could bring them up into your Google Slide or your Google Drawing or whatever file you're, whatever app you're in, and you can manipulate them however you want. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and download it so I can quickly show you what it looks like. Here it is. And here are all those images from that PDF that I can now manipulate in any way that I would like. So that was Extract Images. And honestly, guys, we could spend 30 minutes inside PDF Candy. There is so much to this. There is, if you ever wanted to crop a PDF, so maybe there's one part of the PDF you want, but you don't like the rest of it, you can easily crop a PDF. You can merge PDFs. So if you have one PDF from one place and a PDF from another place and you want to put it together into one file, here's Merge PDF. And again, all of this is free.
Megan,
yes.
Could you show the file again where you had when you did the PDF to PNG, to the picture? Can you show the file how it made two separate images?
Sure.
JPEG file?
Yep. So I did PDF to JPEG, but I could have done PDF to PNG, which is right there. Do you want, I'm sorry, Ben, do you want me to show the file itself, what it's?
Yes.
Okay, so let me go ahead and minimize that. I'm going to go into my I'm in a Mac, so it looks a little different. But I'm going to go into my download folder, and I believe it was the first one. Nope, not that one. Here we go. Is this what you're referring to, Ben?
Yes.
Okay.
So PDF 001 was the first page, and then PDF 002 was the second page.
Yep, and it would keep all of, however many PDF pages were in that particular file, it would contain it to that folder for me. So it really is nice and organized for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else before we move on?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. I'm going to pop back then. Let me go ahead and put this in full mode. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at a different avenue. We're gonna shift gears a little bit. So the first thing I showed you was PDF Candy, and that's when your PDFs are digital. You have them on your computer, Google Drive, your downloads folder. But let's say you are at home right now and you have a workbook or you have a printed PDF. So you have some kind of a print material that you want to make digital so that you can assign to your students. You can do this in a matter of seconds through the Google Drive app. Now, this process to do this actually needs to start on a mobile device. So you need to access Google Drive on your phone. And since we're in this Google Meets right now and I'm on a laptop, I went ahead and I recorded how that looks in a real quick little tutorial that I'm going to play for you now. And then we'll follow up with step 2 and 3. So step 1 of this process to take a print PDF or print file and turn it digital is to go into, or go on your phone, excuse me, and go into your Google Drive app.
I'm going to show you how you can take print materials that you have at home, whether it's a file that is from a workbook or something that you have printed, and turn it into a Google Doc that you can assign for students to complete. So I'm on my phone right now, and you're going to notice that I have the Google Drive app and I'm ready to launch it. You want to start with that. If you don't have that app, you can get that in the App Store. It is free. You would just need to make sure you log in with your school account. All right, so once I go ahead and launch the Google Drive app, I'm inside my district Google Drive. That's really important that we make sure it's synced. I have a copy here of a sheet from a workbook that I'm going to take a picture of. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to hit this little plus icon at the bottom, and I'm going to select Use Camera. And from here, I'm just going to simply take a picture of what I want. So you can see here I have some text. This is to review elements of a plot. And I have some questions. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to be too picky about this picture. It doesn't matter if there's shadows. It doesn't matter if it's slightly crooked. There's my picture. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Use Photo. Now, while that processes, you are actually done with the part on your phone or more mobile device. Now we're going to switch over to our laptop or our computer and access Google Drive.
All right. Were you able to hear that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me turn my computer down a little bit. All right, so now I have that picture I just took on my phone. Now what I need to do on my laptop or on my computer is head over to my drive. And here is that picture, elements of a plot, right here. Instead of clicking that open, I'm going to right click on it. And just like we did with that one file that was a Microsoft Word, but we wanted to turn it into a Google Doc, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to choose Open With, and we're going to select Google Docs. And then we're going to wait for the magic to happen. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to read that image, and it's going to transcribe any text from it into a Google Doc. And it does a pretty darn good job. You do have to do a little cleanup. You'll notice there might be some little editing things that you need to take care of, but that will only take seconds. So here's that picture that I took on my phone into my Google Drive. And then here is all of the text transcribed, including those questions that I want students to answer. So now I can go through, I can edit, I can space this out. I could even put in like a table cell if I wanted them to like put their answers below it. I can change the size of this, right? The font, all that good stuff. I can get rid of little things like this 5 right here. Maybe you don't want this. Now it will place the picture up at the top always for you. And I find that that might be helpful because maybe there's something inside of this that I want to actually crop and keep for my students. But if not, you can always just choose to highlight it and delete it. And that is how we just took a print file that we had perhaps at our house or in our classroom. We took a picture of it, and within minutes, I can now assign this for students to complete in Google Classroom.
One thing I do want to recommend that you do is you change the file name because it does have it as the JPEG. So make sure you do change the file. Good point. And the other thing I would say too about this is it works really well when you have more text. Like if you have what am I trying to say here? If you have a file that has like a tables in it and it has lots of formatting in it, when you take that picture, like the tables and all of those things will not come over. You'll get the text, but it won't put it into the tables and all the different organization styles you might have. So sometimes this works really fast. Sometimes you have to do a little editing, but either way, you'll get all the text that you can then manipulate any way that you'd like.
All right. So far, so good, Ben?
Just one comment. Tanya says that she has done it and it's worked with handwritten notes as well.
Oh, awesome.
But
All right.
that would require me to have good penmanship.
All right, so we're going to end this session talking about a very robust tool that honestly we could spend 30 minutes, if not longer, just covering. So we're going to scratch the surface. And I want to point out, if you want to dig in deeper to this tool and learn more about it, on the next slide, I have put in a tutorial. I've also included a link here. There's all kinds of little helpful information that you can, continue to dig and dive deeper into. But the tool that we're going to end here with today is called Cami, and it is a PDF document annotation tool. And it's a freemium. There's a free version of it, which has plenty of great capabilities. And then there's a premium version of it that has even more capabilities. Right now in our district, everybody has the premium. And I am going to make sure I talk to you a little bit about so what's the free and what's the premium, so you know what you can count on still being there after after our free trial is up. So first thing I want you to understand about Cami is there's actually two parts to it. There is the Cami app or website where you can go and you can beef up your files. And what I mean by that is you could take, say, a PDF and you could add text boxes to it. You could add highlighting to it. You could add your written comments. In the premium version, you can do even more. You can add video, you can add your voice, you can add equations, editors. There's all different kinds of features. Once you have that file, like we see here, this Huckleberry Finn example, once you have that file, you can then go and assign it in Google Classroom to make a copy for each student. And then the extension, the Cami extension, is what would allow the students to open that file and have the toolbar so that they can then annotate it. They could highlight, they could leave comments and put in text boxes. So there's two pieces to this. There's the website where you can doctor up a file and make it even better, enhance it. And then there's the extension that allows you and the students to have that toolbar handy on the side. So I'm going to show you how this works. So we're going to pop over to Cami right now. And I would just encourage you, before you pop over here and sign in, scroll down. There is so much on this homepage as far as resources and tutorials go that you could, everything, most of your questions will be answered. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign in with Google. And when you log in, it's going to take you to this screen right here. And basically, it's prompting you to start with a file. So you can access your files from Drive or open them from your computer, or start a completely new blank page. I'm going to go back to that Langston Hughes poem and discussion questions and watch what happens when I do this. Because earlier today, I was kind of testing this out a little bit, it has saved for me. It's recognized the fact that this document that I'm about to add is something that I've already put into Cami and I've already added annotation. So it's saying, do you want to start a new copy or do you want to go back to what you've already been working on? It auto saves all of that for you. So I'm actually going to go back to 10:47 today a.m. when I was annotating that. And here is the file, the Langston Hughes poem. The discussion questions are below. And here's the toolbar. Now, because this up here tells it, is letting us know that we have the premium, all of this is open to us. In the free version, you'll see little locks that will be on some of these things, like the equation editor will be locked down. Adding images, I believe, is a premium feature. It'll be locked down. So I'm going to really just focus on what you can do with the free. And some of the things you can do are you can add text boxes. So for example, here I have a text box giving them further information. Here's your editing bar up here. So you can, fill the text boxes. You can change the font, the size, all that good stuff. I can even add a hyperlinks and stuff into those text boxes if I wanted them to access other documents or files or videos or whatnot. Another thing I could do is I could go into my markups, and here I have my highlighting, my strike through, my underline, all those different things. Going down to comments, you're going to notice that I left a text comment right here. To do that, you simply click. You get these little circles. You can move the circle wherever you want it to go. You can change the color of the circles, and then you can type comments. Now, because we're working with the premium, you're going to see here you can leave your voice as a comment too, but that is a premium feature. So written comments are always available, but voice and video comments are part of the premium package. But here you can see, for example, what I did was I left a comment right here where they're going to be answering, and I said, head to Flipgrid to share your thinking about the questions. So rather than them typing it, they're going to share it with a video prompt, and then I linked it for them here. So I took this PDF, I doctored it up, I enhanced it, and now what I'm ready to do is I'm going to go. It's saved automatically, but if you wanted to just be sure, you could click on this little save icon right here. It's telling you all changes are saved. I could create a copy for my Google Drive. And this is all part of the free. So now what I could do is I could go into Google Classroom and I could assign that as an assignment to make a copy for each student. And that's actually what Ben has done for me so that I can show you what it looks like on the student's end. So we're inside Ben's classroom and I'm a student. So now I'm going to click on classwork. I'm going to see that I have an assignment, poetry analysis. And when I open it, here is my own copy of that exact PDF I just showed you. So if I was a student, I would see here that there are some things in place. And when I click open with Cami right up here at the top, it's going to allow me to open it with the toolbar and add in whatever it is if I was a student that I needed to add in. As I read, highlight descriptive adjectives, underline vivid verbs. I would be able to go in now and do that and then turn it in Google Classroom. All right, Ben, how are we doing? Any questions?
We're good. I had asked if there were any questions and nobody said anything, so I think we're doing pretty well.
Awesome. So one thing that you will just need to make sure students do in order to have access to that toolbar where they could add their annotations and then send it back to you is you would just need to make sure that they go in and they add the Cami extension to their Chrome browser. And I have that linked right here for you. And that is pretty much it. I will point out though, just so that you're not surprised when you see this, because we have the premium version of Cami right now, when I click create, notice that I have this right here that says create a Cami assignment. That is not part, that is a premium feature. So in the free version, you would just click on assignment, put the PDF in, make a copy for each student, and the students would have their extension, they'd open it, they'd mark it up, and they'd send it back. The benefit, I guess, of the Cami assignment is when you go to grade this assignment in Google Classroom, the Cami toolbar is right on the left-hand side for you in that one window where you're able to leave comments and you can click the next button and the student's work keeps swiping in. In that grading window, you would have the Cami toolbar handy if you wanted to add any further annotations as you grade. And the other benefit would be that when it's assigned as a Cami assignment and a student opens it, it automatically opens it in Cami. They don't have to, I don't believe that they have to click at the top where it says open with Cami. It just knows it is. So just a really quick review here, we looked at how we could take digital PDFs and turn them into other files, like perhaps images that can be locked down in Google Slides or Google Docs. We took a look at how we could turn print PDFs or files into Google Docs quickly. And then we worked with Cami, and that's a tool that allows you to annotate PDFs to share with your students and then to get back from students with their thinking and their thoughts. And I think that concludes our session.
It does. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming, guys. If you have any further questions, please let us know. And Ben, did you put the feedback link in the chat?
I did.
All right. Please leave us some feedback.
I did add one other thing in the chat to PDF Escape. That's a place where you can create fillable text boxes with PDFs. It works okay with Google. It doesn't work as well as other ones, but we just wanted to have that as another option if you're wanting that for people to be able to download and be able to use that.
Yeah. And Ben and I are happy to answer any questions should you something comes up later as you start to explore or use these tools with your students. Just shoot us an email.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.